Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be utilizing Axon's the world champs GBL team in the Open Great League that allowed him to reach expert rank. Overall I went 14-11 with this team. Definitely some misplays on my side and really good plays by my opponent, but this was definitely a very strong team. Lickitung is super safe in this meta. So, okay. All right, we're going to pick up a good lead here, and they come into Lantern. So Lickitung has a pretty good matchup versus Lantern, but if they shield, then it can be kind of tough here. So they will throw the Surf. They need 3 Surfs to KO. Thunderbolt is more energy efficient, but you'll see, because of my kind of slow switch, they are going to be able to get to another Surf before I reach the Power Whip. I guess they reach it regardless. Do they? 18 turns. No, because I took too long to switch there. They were going to be able to outpace me. So if I switch it a little bit faster, but the thing is the Power Whip actually doesn't KO, because you'll see that I end up... Oh, actually, do I end up reaching the move? They farm me down because they thought they could farm me down. Unfortunately, the does not KO. I come into Lantern expecting them to blind throw the Surf, which they do. And they come into Buzzwall. I could have Thunderbolted here, I guess. But I thought it was going to be a CMP tie, which is why I didn't throw. I switch, and they come into Azumarill. Kind of a tough situation here. I will throw the Dig. Dig is more energy efficient than Aerial Ace. Does a pretty decent amount of damage. And I guess I could have thrown the Dig sooner there, because they definitely had the Ice Beam already, but it looks like they're gonna choose to farm up quite a bit. So I thought about shielding this, but I ended up letting it go. And I do 3 Sparks, then throw the Thunderbolt. The Surf almost certainly wouldn't have KO'd there. So this is a safe play for me. And then I'm just going to hope that the Thunderbolt's going to be enough to take out the Buzzwall. With the Sparks, it is enough to take it out. And then I end up winning this game despite losing the switch there. And actually, in theory, hard countering the opponent with Gligar. But they played that really well. They flipped the switch. Came with some energy. I guess if they were Thunderbolt in my Lantern, it would have been a little bit better for them. But obviously they were worried that the one wing attack was gonna KO and they wouldn't be able to get off the move. So worked out pretty nicely for me. The one Spark ended up KOing, so they did end up like trying to wait there. Then they probably would have lost all their energy. So all right, we're gonna go into this next game here. We're gonna have Gligar into Defense Deoxys. Defense Deoxys seems to be one of the most common leads right now. So they end up throwing the Psycho Boost and bailing. So the Psycho Boost here, and they come into their own Sableye. I could have switched out right away, but I like throwing this Dig here. But perhaps I only need to throw the Aerial Ace though. But that's quite alright. I let this go. They throw the return at me. They need 2 returns to KO. Or 3 foul plays. So I will throw the Power Whip at this Sableye, which they will survive. And interesting, they didn't decide to throw there. I guess they were committing to the return. And take them out with the Body Slam. They come in with Defense Deoxys. And I throw the Power Whip because I couldn't make it to 2 Body Slams. And the Power Whip does more damage. And then I'm going to switch here. And they come into Dugong. And this is actually a pretty decent situation for me. And I throw the Dig. Unfortunately, I'm not able to reach another move here. I'm going to wait the clock as much as possible because obviously I'm fearful of the debuff and being stuck in that matchup. So I'm just giving myself as much time to clear the debuff as possible. I think they're going to bait here. They do end up baiting, so I let it go. They're loaded on Defense Deoxys, but also pretty low. And I decided to let this go again. Maybe not the wisest move, but I end up being an icy win. And then I'm going to do one and throw the Thunderbolt. I thought about baiting there, But they end up no shielding, and I'm just gonna switch because I am twice debuffed, and they decide to leave the match. Okay, so that worked out pretty well for me. Again, if you want to check out all my battles, they're on twitch.tv/kingiv. Stream there, probably like trying 5 days a week. Sometimes it can be tough, depending on my schedule. I have lots of things on the go. I've moved into a new house, so we have like lots of renovations. Okay, so interesting lead. I try to catch the move here, so I go to 7, then throw 7, then switch. They end up throwing the overheat, so it's quite a bit of damage. They come into Venusaur. I will throw the body slam. Interesting, they decide to go for the farm down and burn a shield. I have a move banked, so this actually works out pretty nicely for me that they came into Venusaur into the Lickitung, because this is exactly what I want. They would have survived that body slam, but they would have got licked down. So I will throw the aerial ace, even though it's CMP, because they have 2. So I don't want to. I want to force them to use their last shield if they want to get this frenzy plant off. And they went to exactly double. So they're dry now. And they come into Sableye. I throw the dig. And then I'm just going to stay in this situation here. I stay in this matchup. Because the Venusaur is low enough that Lantern can take it out. And then I have Lantern onto... I will throw the aerial ace. And then you'll see here I make a strategic play. Is I undercharge this aerial ace. And then I switch. So that way I can get farm onto Lantern. And I'm not too fearful of... I just need to be able to outpace this Venusaur. So they will throw the move here. And they come into Ninetales. And I throw before the Weather Ball. Take it out. And then I should be able to outpace this Venusaur to the move and take them out with a Surf. So strategic undercharge so that I can go away and get energy on Lantern. Because again, I'm not that fearful of the Ninetales, and I just need to be able to outpace the Venusaur. If I would have just taken them out, then the Venusaur would have been able to outpace me, and then that would have been a really tricky situation for me to deal with. Okay. All right. We're going to have Gligar into Gligar. Gligar mirrors. So how I like to play this, I like to catch here. I'm not sure it's the wisest move. And as well, for those who are asking whether or not what is shadow or non-shadow better, I just use non-shadow because that's what Axon is using. And yeah, here comes the opposing Lickitung, and this is going to be a long mirror, so I'm going to speed this up here. We're just going to throw a bunch of body slams at each other. Too many for me to count. And then eventually we'll switch out here. They will throw the body slam. Doesn't KO, so they will reach another one here. And then I will build up some energy. And I go for the CMP tie. And now we're back into this matchup. And I wanted some energy in case they came into... in with Lantern, like they're running a mirror team. Throw the aerial ace. The next aerial ace wouldn't quite KO there, so I need a couple wing attacks anyways. I will let this go. And I'll do one wing attack and then throw. And I think they actually choose to let this go. And then we run into the Lantern mirror. Not a Lantern mirror, they have eventually the Lantern mirror. I'm going to throw this move and then switch out to my own Lantern. And even though this is a pretty decent situation for me, still kind of awkward here. And I decided to call the bait here, which is obviously didn't work in my favor. They go straight for the Thunderbolt. And I will go for the Thunderbolt in return. They will end up shielding this. And then I just make a miraculous play here. You'll see at the end. They can just straight surf me. Surf wouldn't KO, but they would be able to strike me down afterwards. So I throw the Thunderbolt. And I shield. And then I had to make a decision here. I decide to do one more spark here and then switch. And then I end up making the catch. And then I have the surf and I win the game here. So end up winning the game off of, even though I had a shield advantage, because I got the bait called wrong, or they end up throwing the nuke at me, then, well, the quote unquote nuke, then that put me in a very tricky situation that relied on me getting the move off. So, or catching the move. All right, we'll show off this one last game here. But again, if you want to check out all my battles, check out twitch.tv/kingiv. Again, if you want to check out Axon, which if you didn't know, he does stream on Twitch on a pretty consistent basis. Some really great battles. All right, so Gligar into Cresselia. This is an okay matchup. I am going to try to catch the Moonblast. They end up not throwing. They come into Diggersby. And they will throw I will throw the Power Whip. Unfortunately, 2 Power Whips that did not KO. All right. And then I had to take a small break there, so the video might cut weirdly here because I had someone knocking on the door. Anyways, you have Lickitung into Diggersby. Unfortunately, the 2 Power Whips don't KO the Diggersby. But we do reach the Power Whip. And the Body Slam would KO, but they are going to be able to outpace. They actually decide to undercharge here. Okay, I don't know, not quite sure. Anyways, they come back in with Cresselia. This is okay for me. I'm gonna throw the dig. Dig is more energy efficient than Aerial Ace. And then I probably should have went double Aerial Ace here. Probably would have been the play. Anyways, I throw the, yeah. Well, this is okay though. Take the move. They throw another Grass Knot at me. I will let this go. And then, yeah, so double Aerial Ace probably would have been better there. They come back in with Lickitung. Unfortunately, this is a completely lost game for me here. So not really too much I can do here. So, I guess like some bait and shield calls, I perhaps could win here and making a catch. I tried to make a catch there, but then they ended up not throwing. And I hope to call the bait here, but this game's going to be over anyway. So anyways, quick video here. Really like this team. Lickitung is an amazing safe swap in this particular meta. And Gligar and Lantern are both very strong. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.